Okay, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is in your world. This morning, we're going to be making mashed potato candy. I know that sounds awful, but it's not. It's delicious. It's a vintage recipe from the 50s. I was just a little girl when we got our first batch of homemade mashed potato candy in the mail, and it was at Christmas time, and man, I tasted one bite of that, and I mean, it was heaven. It's real easy to make. First of all, I have 4 cups. I'm making half a recipe because we sure don't need to be eating this much. I've got 4 cups of powdered sugar in here, and I've got about 1/4 of a cup of coconut. I've got 3 ounces of mashed potatoes. Now you can use mashed potatoes left over from the night before or whatever. If you don't have any, you can make some mashed potatoes out of an instant box of mashed potatoes. All these ingredients need to be cold. Now I've got 1/2 cup of butter, and it needs to be like room temperature. Not hard, but not real soft either. First of all, I'm going to put just a little dash of salt in there. I've got 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Now the mashed potatoes is more for like the texture of the candy. When this is done, if you ever eaten a Mounds bar, this is what this tastes like. Or Almond Joy, only it's not going to have almonds in it. However, I imagine you could put some almonds in it and make it like Almond Joy, but this is actually going to taste like a Mounds bar. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these mashed potatoes right in the middle of this powdered sugar. We're going to put our butter in there. You really want to use gloves, or I guess you could use your hands, but you'll have some messy hands, that's for sure. We're going to put our 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla in there, and we're going to put I'm going to wait about adding the coconut. The reason I'm doing that is I have a daughter that loves this candy, but she's highly allergic to coconut. So usually when I make this, I take out a little bit without the coconut and make that for her. Then I pour the coconut in and finish it up. But now we're going to squish all this together. Just keep squishing until you get it mixed up really good. Don't you just love it that you can just wear the gloves and then just peel them right off and you don't have those messy hands? Just keep mashing it around. Now, when it comes to chocolate, I'm a fan of milk chocolate. Don't really care that much for dark chocolate. However, this candy is so sweet that I use dark chocolate on it. That helps kind of stabilize the sweetness a little bit. So that's what we'll be coating the candy with, is dark chocolate. But we need to get this at the right consistency, and it takes a few minutes. You want to be sure all of it is coated real good. And I'm working it in. We're about to get it workable. When we get this worked up, then we'll work it into little 1-inch balls, and then we'll put it in the put them in the freezer for 15 to 30 minutes before we try to dip them in the chocolate. Just about to get there. It takes a little while, don't give up on it. My son used to like this, and I had a son-in-law. I used to make it around Christmas time. I had a son-in-law that still to this day begs me to make them. Now, back in the 50s, it was being made in logs, the shape of logs. And then when it was ready to serve, you'd cut off slices. But through the years, I've decided that's not the best way, because the chocolate, of course, the dark chocolate is hardened. And when you go to slice it off, it kind of, the dark chocolate crumbles and breaks. It just doesn't look real good. So see, we got a big ball of candy here that hadn't been coated yet. But now it's ready to start rolling little balls out of it. And I've got a pan here I'm going to place them on. I put wax paper on here. And of course underneath there I put some water so the wax paper will stay in place better. That's where we'll be putting them. Then you take, I'll say, that's about an inch, don't you think? We just start placing them right there. This one might be just a little bit bigger than an inch. Now we're not going to roll off too many of them because we want to add the coconut. These are just for my daughter that can't handle the coconut. I'm going to give her maybe, I don't know, what do we do? Maybe 5 of them. That's all she needs. All right, then we're going to put our coconut in the rest of this. So here we go again with the mixing. I just got to remember which ones are the coconut. In fact, I think I'll put a little knife here as a marker. You cross over it, you're getting into the coconut ones. Okay, we got it mixed up again, and we're going to go back to rolling little balls. I'd say maybe we're going to end up with maybe 1.5 dozen. What do you think? The knife's getting in the way. And once they're fixed, of course, it does have butter in it, so you do need to keep this candy refrigerated. And it rolls up pretty easy. But as I said, make sure that the butter does not need to be melted. The mashed potatoes does not need to be warm. Everything needs to be cold or room temperature, except the butter. The butter needs to be, for sure, room temperature. Okay, we've got 1 dozen of these rolled out here, and I've still got that much left to roll. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put these in the freezer and I'll finish rolling these. But I'm gonna put these in the freezer for maybe 30 minutes. Not refrigerator, the freezer. Because we want them to be good and solid when we're dipping them in the chocolate. And I'll finish rolling these, and after 30 minutes, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've pulled the candy out of the freezer, and they're nice and solid, and I've melted my dark chocolate. By the way, I used the wafers, the dark chocolate wafers. Now, I wouldn't advise using chocolate chips because chocolate chips will not melt good. They're just, when you melt them, it's real thick and it's hard to deal with. So, I put the 5 without the coconut in a pan by themselves, and I'm going to cover them first. You can take a fork and use it for dipping. If you're fortunate enough to have one of these little prongs, my daughter got us a s'mores kit several years ago, and this is the little prong thing that you put the marshmallow on. If you're fortunate enough to have one of those, I like that best. And you just dip it in the chocolate, swirl it around, let it drain off just a little bit. I melted the chocolate in the microwave for about 30 to 40 seconds and then stirred it real well. So I'm going to dip all of her 5 in this chocolate. Chocolate is expensive, so I'm going to get as much of it off of there as I can. Okay, get one more here. I won't cover all of them because I don't want to waste your time, but I'll get a few covered so you can kind of see how it goes. And the chocolate is already beginning to harden. But after we get these done, we want to put them in the refrigerator for 10 to 15 minutes. And this is where I said a little bit of bare spot might show up, but you can just dip a little bit of chocolate over that and it'll cover it up real nicely. She'll never know I had to do that. Well, if she watches the video, she would. Yeah, she'll know. Yeah. I've got hers covered. Don't that look good? Doesn't matter that it has mashed potatoes in it. You'll never taste mashed potatoes. They are absolutely delicious. I ended up making a half a batch. I've ended up, I think I counted 21 pieces of candy. And I'm going to go ahead and continue dipping these. Then I'm going to put them in the refrigerator for 10 or 15 minutes. And then I'll be right back. And we'll see the finished product. Won't be long now. See you in a little bit. Alright, I just took these out of the refrigerator, and we've got a taste tester here, Twin Chef Mickey. He's going to try one of them. Pick up whichever one you want to test here.
Well, they all look alike to me.
Well, some are smaller, some are bigger.
Where's the small one?
That's probably the smallest one. Sounds like you're afraid to taste test it.
No, I ain't want no sweets. You ready?
He's not big on sweets. He's going to taste test it for us and tell us what he thinks.
What do you call them?
Mashed potato candy. There's a look at the camera when you're ready and tell them what you think about it. Well, he's going for another bite, I think. So
Well, it tastes a whole lot to me like them chocolate delights. They're real good. And yeah, these are very good.
they're very sweet.
Yeah,
You don't want to eat too much of
they're
them.
rich,
They're very rich.
but they're delicious. Come on. I'm gonna eat the rest of it just to make myself happy. You gotta picture some of these, cause they're really good.
All right, I'm gonna give you a close-up picture of these so you can see them a little bit better. Go ahead, you can go on through there, Chef Mickey. There they are. Don't they look good? Of course, we've got one vacant spot over here. But I think you'll enjoy them. And if you're watching, Linda, your mama has 5 pieces made especially for you with no coconut. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed making it. And remember, this is really easy. It doesn't take long. And I think you'll really like it. Thank you for watching.